Hello, my name is Ben Goossens. I'm Global Product Line Market Manager for the continuous gas analyzers of ABB. And I'm happy to be here with Edwin. Right, Edwin?
That's right, Ben, and thank you very much indeed for joining me just as you're en route to the airport as well. So I very much
Mm.
appreciate that. We're reflecting on your conference presentation at the recent MAP America conference in Houston. Tell us, when it comes to monitoring methods for emissions, what are the key things people should be aware of?
That it's easy and it's not easy. That actually doing a measurement is easy if you have the right equipment at hand and also the right advice that people can give you to do an emission monitoring. Because basically uh, the technology that we use for emission monitoring is out there for ages. I mean, the concept of the analyzer is 80 years old, so we have the experience, but we need to have the people aware of how to rightly install and use the product to make sure that they have the right and let's say correct measurements of their emissions, and in that respect, to guide them a little bit, that's where we added the digital services and solutions that we offer.
And these are cloud-based solutions, aren't they? Could you tell us a little bit more about how they work, and then we'll perhaps deep dive into some of the data issues.
Yeah, well, how they work is basically we start from the analyzer, and the moment we launched it, it already had a kind of IP address. So it already had the RG45 connector to it. So we could already use that as, let's say, a remote PC or whatever that has an Ethernet address. Using that feature, of course, or having that possibility already when we launched the product in 96, that actually gives the door open to remote connectivity of the analyzer. And of course, it's not always easy being on a ship. That's why we also have then a kind of easy entrance, and that's just a dynamic QR code. And then you don't need to connect directly to an Ethernet, but you already have at hand a system that allows you to detect or to monitor, or not monitor, sorry, to determine what analyzer you have on board of ship when it was produced. So let's say the static um, information of the analyzer, but also the dynamic information. So how is he feeling? Is he feeling well? Does he has a problem? Does he need calibration? Does he need care? What is the cause of the of an alarm occurring? So that's, let's say, the dynamic inside of the QR code. Going one step further is then really using what I first said, this Ethernet connection to an edge device, a PC, and from there going to ship owners, going to a service hub, going to whoever actually wants to access the data of the health status of the analyzer.
Inevitably, when you talk about digital, it raises ship owner concerns around cybersecurity and also who owns the data. How do you address those concerns?
The easy part, that's who owns the data, that's the customer. We just supply a way or a method to give the data to the customer, but the data itself is from the customer. We just are sometimes allowed access to the data, and then we just are reviewing it, the data of the analyzer, to feedback again to the customer. Hey, this is what's going on with your equipment. So touching actually the cybersecurity part of it, that is, I mean, our solution has got the cybersecurity tested. So we work together with colleagues of ABB India who perform for us the complete cybersecurity testing, and it's got the complete approval. But next to that, we experience quite often also with industrial customers that they still say, no, we can't allow you access. So it's complete closed environment. We want to keep it like that. So the gate opening can also be, let's say, organized by a ship owner by allowing a modem to contact the analyzer or dialing in from remote going to the analyzer. So that's still under control of the customer, but as such, the instrument itself or the access is completely cyber secure. Yeah.
If I know anything about your company and you, of course, Ben, I'm sure you're working on a version 2.0 of the system. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the 2.0 version, Edwin, is already there, but that's actually collecting all the different analyzers, if we have the connectivity to the analyzers, to a Genix platform, and that's a data analyzer. And the purpose of this is exactly the way we do it also with onshore equipment, with waste to energy plants or larger industrial customers who actually want a complete dashboard of their complete analyzer fleet, allowing them also to monitor, okay, how is my fleet feeling? Where are the issues? How old is my fleet? Also, with respect, let's say, to budgets for replacements for obsolete products. Of course, uh, the um, the marine industry being, let's say, quite young of age, as the emissions are not like or installed like 15 years ago, so we have younger installations. So that's not the case for the obsolescence following up, but it's really a high level dashboard on the complete fleet to monitor the fleet. So the 2.0 is what we call the Genix datalyzer. Yeah, we it's already there, out there. Yeah, but the first
And
step, of course, before going there, Edwin, is that we first have to have the dynamic the remote condition monitoring, because from there, and we have the connectivity, we can then go to the next level, which is then the Genix for a complete fleet.
and to be clear, does the system measure particulate matter and unburnt hydrocarbons?
No, no, no. Particulate measure, that's always done with, let's say, what we call an optical analyzer in situ, so directly measuring the reflection of light. The reflection of light being, let's say, a measure of the amount of particulates which are inside of a chimney or a duct. Um, and the unburned, that might be possible, but as a standard, we are measuring the SO2 and CO2 concentrations. We could have alternatives by measuring also the unburned as a, let's say, CO or methane as a part of the unburned components, indicating that the combustion hasn't been complete. Yeah, but
I know
that's
your
not the standard system. Yeah.
I know your systems have obviously attracted a lot of interest from ship owners and operators. What about government agencies?
Well, funny that you say that, because they are reaching out now slowly. We don't see a lot of government agencies yet asking for this solution, but the government agencies just want to know more about, let's say, ship emissions, because they are not, apart from the SO2 and the CO2, which are, let's say, legally binded in the SECA regions to be monitored, but for the other, like NOx, there is no requirement yet officially, because the measurement hasn't have to take place. It's with the tier 2 and tier 3 actually for the NOx, but not for, let's say, on a continuous base. But we see more actually the governments asking what are the possibilities to measure these continuously on board of ships, so to have some data actually, in order to, let's say, streamline or align their emission regulations also towards the shipping industry, or ships coming to shore or near their shore, in their harbors. Yeah.
And finally, Ben, reflecting on the conference, did it meet your expectations?
By far, Edwin. It's I'm rather new, let's say, in the position where I am currently in. I've been working like 19 years already with ABB, but the marine industry has been, let's say, an unrevealed mystery to me, but it's exposing a little bit some of the secrets. So having these conferences really broadens up my vision on what they need to take, what they need to think, how they're working, how they're cooperating, which are the players, what is actually their driving. So it's absolutely great, not only for meeting some of the exhibitors or the speakers, but also the customers. So hanging around there is really, let's say, interesting for me. And I think even for people which are already along in this business, I think they're still returning to these kind of conferences because they also catch up always either new friends or new knowledge. Yeah.
Ben, thank you, and please don't miss your plane.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye.